Well, this is that fender that a buddy of mine donated. I want to say thank you, Jason. Dude, I appreciate it. It's good galvanized. Really looks like it might have been used partially and then taken off for some reason. He gave me three of these, so I acquired three of them. Two of them were seriously rusted, but they had this cool aluminum piece on top, so I went ahead and snagged that. I kept them, drilled all six rivets, so it would have been 12 total. Kept the aluminum diamond plate piece on top. But it's like I said, I'm trying to reuse what I got, just like the frame and everything else. Being very creative. Now you're gonna see three marks, and that's kind of my goof up. I eyeballed it, but then after running the center line, I checked it off the back. There's a flat straightaway. It came out to be dead on. So it's this middle line. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and chop it. We're going to create two fenders out of this, then figure out some kind of simple little mounts. I should be wearing some kind of respirator because anytime you're going to cut or weld on anything that's been galvanized, you really want to watch for the fumes. But I think out here in the open, I should be good enough to go ahead and just get this thing split into two. So we're going to create two quick fenders out of the one. Well, all right, well, we got a little bit more done. Trying to finish up this video for this week's show. What I did was, if y'all recall, on the very front, I had two verticals that were running, and they were kind of sitting like this and cockeyed, and I just kind of got tired of it. So what I did was I went ahead and, since they were only tacked, just broke the tacks, remeasured it. I'm going to kind of redo it. I guess it's, just say screw it. Go ahead and trim off the excess and get them tacked in right. And the reason I want to go ahead and get them done is I believe it's time to go ahead and we're going to start building the winch mount. Go ahead and get that done. So that way I'm trying to get a lot of the fabrication done. As you seen earlier, I went ahead and split that fender in two. But a buddy of mine that's hanging out kind of brought up a good point that I don't need to go ahead and create or fabricate the mounts just yet. The reason is going to be is the axle I'm putting in is going to be a hair wider. So I'm going to have to definitely get the new axle in and mocked up, get the hubs put on, tires put on, then proceed from there and creating the brackets to mount the fender. So to go ahead and just get a lot of stuff done, I'm going to go ahead and get these cut, get that on, then we'll go ahead and fabricate the winch mounts so we can go ahead and get that part done. It looks straight, but I can't see around you to compare the other side. alright, what I got is the 2x4 box tubing. I'm trying to reuse every bit that I have extra, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and mark my 10-inch piece and my 30-inch piece. Go ahead and mark them. Then what I'll do is I'll just lightly tack some of this in, come back and figure out my last piece. So that what it does is it gives me the overall what I'm going to do. So there we go. There's a 10-inch piece and the 30-inch piece. I'll go ahead and scribe the lines. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and roll this over, try to draw out, maybe not have to fully roll it over. But basically what I'm going to do is draw the line all the way around, get the cutoff wheel, cut these two out, lay this in, tack this up, get my measurement for my last piece, cut it out, and we'll be go ahead and on our way to getting the winch mount set up and welded in.
I found you in the wonders of a jungle paradise. Flew across the galaxy with planets made of ice. I saw you in the corner of a city two-bit bar. Won your hand and lost my heart in a game of cards. Would you believe I'm the king of hell?
Well, this is my basic idea. Come off with this box tubing. It's going to be tied into that rail, which brings the support down through these verticals. Come back to another piece of tubing down to this piece, which transfers the load back to the frame. It does have some excessive hangover that's hanging off the edge, but what I'm going to do is come back and trim that nice and neat. My goal is go ahead and get all this stuff welded in, so that way we have the winch mount done, and I can worry about the little stuff kind of like I've been working. For this video, I'm going to definitely show a lot of progress, which doesn't look like much, but is definitely a lot considering all I've done today. So I'm going to go ahead and start welding this sucker up, get it welded, and I can worry about trimming up this bottom piece that supports it all. I can worry about that later. At least I'll have the winch mount in place.
I found you in the wonders of a jungle paradise. Flew across a galaxy with planets made of ice. I saw you in the corner of a city two-bit bar. Won your hand and lost my heart in a game of cards. Would you believe I'm the king of hell? And would you believe I'm in love with you still? And I saw you from the picture window of my palace recognize you from the picture of the gates of
Alright, here she goes. Got the winch mount done, and basically what I'm going to do is come in. I'm going to drill 2 holes right here. I want the front of this to sit on this lip, and it's welded all the way around. So what it does, it transfers, when it's going to pull, it's going to be going that way. So what it's going to do is pull back on these, which pulls on this, which kind of ties everything together. I don't know from looks how everybody thinks it's going to look, but I'm thinking it's it's functionable, and that's the whole goal, was a free boat winch. I like the way how it kicks back, so that way it's not going to interfere with the ATVs being loaded on here. The previous owner has, as you could tell, put some kind of rope, something, garbage. I'm going to take that off. We're going to do steel braided cable with a nice hook. It's going to be at least, I need a 20-foot piece to go all the way past the end of the trailer and all the way down to where the ramp's going to be. Everything's basically welded. Now, this, for aesthetics, I don't like the end of this, how it comes out. What I'm going to do is end up trimming it straight across, or we're going to come straight up, diagonal and down to match the I don't know what you call it, curvature, the angle of the frame, basically. Then what I'll do is I like to weld the mess out of everything, so I'll come across the bottom and lay a nice thick bead. I'd rather something break other than a weld, even though I make sure my welder and speed and everything is set right for full penetration. So everything is done, everything is mocked up, or we're past the mocked up stage. It's done, it's welded. Couple little aesthetic touches. Basically, as far as fabrication on this thing, we're about pretty well done with fabrication, or I'm hoping that is. I keep looking and I'll keep adding as I go along. And you can kind of see down here, this is the little bracket that will hold the little side marker, and I got one back here. Take you back. See, we got that one done today, and we got a tail light holder. We got to still drill holes in that. And let's see, we can kind of get a shot. We get a shot straight down the ATV toy hauler. We got the winch straight down, so that way if we have one of the ATVs become disabled, we're easily able to pull the steel cable all the way down here, and I'm going to have possibly just an aluminum ramp that folds up, just attaches, and it gets thrown on the trailer. Well, all right, getting back on this project. As you've seen earlier in the video, getting all this done. Now getting this up. Well, it looks up at least. So what I did was use some Harbor Freight jack stands, threw them under here, and what I did was something clever I had just quickly thought of. I lowered the tongue as far as it would go down. Being this thing sits on a hill with the nose of it down, it lifted the tail end up. I was able to slide some of these, one's aluminum, one's stainless steel little plates I had. Put my jack stands under there and lifted the front up using the little jack that's attached to the trailer and brought it up, which was kind of cool because now I'm able, moving up these old rusty tires and rims and everything else, able to get it up. So now both of them are up off the ground. I think it's time to go ahead and get this thing up. Let's pull all this junk out. Let's start with fresh stuff. Using my good old Mac Jesse James edition West Coast Choppers Impact. I guess let's get y'all set down on the tripod, get it all ready to go. And I guess it's time to use some air tools. I know I had one of my subscribers, I believe it's Rusty. There you go, brother. Got the air tools out, of course. Got the Pittsburgh deep wall socket, impact sockets out. I guess it's time, it's time to get ready to get this new axle in here.